So last month, I wanted to see how I felt trading the NASDAQ. And it went okay. I did end up hitting my trailing drawdown, not the max drawdown. I only hit it by like, I think it was like 400 something dollars. And that hurts. But I just went through a losing streak, which just means that my max trailing drawdown was 49,500 something dollars. The most I was in profit on that account was about 51,500 something dollars. And what the prop firms do is they say, hey, once you get to a certain amount of profit, you just can't lose 2,000 of that. I ended up losing 2,000 of that. But trading NASDAQ for a full month taught me that I don't like high risk on my trades. Some of my trades, I would maybe risk 100 something dollars. The most was about $500 or $600 to potentially make well over 400 to 1,500 to almost $2,000 to some trades. But because Top Step has a consistency rule, I can't make over $1,500 until I get funded. Then the consistency rule goes away. But that's all well. I was happy to trade NASDAQ. Now I'm looking to see how I like ES. And then by the end of this month, I'll look to see which one I prefer to trade. This week was my first week trading ES and it went well. But there were a few hiccups and learning lessons along the way. So if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting how much I make. I did have a losing day on Monday and I had a losing day on Wednesday. But this is Wednesday, so let me go over it. On Wednesday, there was just so much momentum when I got to the charts. I was looking to like take my first trade here somewhere. Yo, I did not see a reason to go long on Wednesday. I shorted the market twice and I got stopped out twice. And I said, you know what? I know my lesson. I know my rules. My rules say when I lose two trades in a row to stop. I stopped. I listened. I went to the movies with my husband. We went to go see Kong and Godzilla, or is it Godzilla and Kong? I don't know, but y'all should go watch it. It was really, really good. But anyway, so let's go over to Thursday. I didn't profit that big, but I did make up some of my loss from Wednesday. So what I realized about trading yesterday was that price could have went either way, but I did go through a bit of consolidation. And I noticed that I was so focused on holding this trade so long. I normally get out of my trades, or I want to be out of my trades by 11 because I stopped trading at 11. But I had to be in the trade for more than what I really wanted to be. So let's go ahead and go into the longer trade. And we'll talk about the losing trade too. So I saw that at 10, because I typically like to take my trades around 10, right? Before, sometimes after. The market had made this high. And so started talking about this with the market making this high. And I said, you know what? There is a possibility that the market could go higher. And so I didn't end up getting into a trade until price made this new high right here at 5,350s. And that's when I took a buy. I said, listen, price could end up going higher after this, or it could end up going lower. But I did end up taking a buy. I didn't lose much on that particular trade. So I said, you know what? I'm going to hold off here because what I really want to see is, since I lost this particular trade, this could mean that price wants to continue down. But I need evidence that the market wants to continue to go down. So that's when I looked at this low. I said, you guys, if price can pass 52.95, 25s, I'm going to look for price to go back up and then potentially get into another trade. So price did make a new low. And at this moment, I put in a pending order. I said, okay, I want to be triggered in if the market could come back to 52.98.50s. I'm going to set my stops above or at 5300s.50 and, see if price can get back down to the low. Got triggered in, which is really good. Market was almost a TP, able to move down my stop just a little bit. But if you look at it, the market really moved sideways. I mean, it was going up, down, up, down, up, down. And then the market starts to finally, it's just like between 1040 to 1050 for 10 minutes, she went sideways. Finally, price started to fall. I'm like, okay, great. I feel good about this again. But then she started to consolidate again. And these zones here, this is like potential stacking opportunities. I didn't stack. And this is something I have to get better at because sometimes I do stack positions. But because the market was consolidating, Now we're going past 11 o'clock. I'm like, yo, I really want to get out of this trade. I really don't want to sit here and watch this. But one of the members in the Discord, she's like, Shaquan, just stay, just stay, just stay. I'm glad I listened. But y'all can see the market's making like these lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. This is the time to start stacking the position, adding a contract, moving the stop down. But my psychology got the best of me because I don't trade well during a sideways move. Okay, just got the best of me. But I kept zoning out. I looked at one of my members. I said, "Hey, you see what I'm doing, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I see what you're doing." And he was able to get in on one of the stack positions as well, but he saw it, so that was really good. And then we talked about the trade. Once it was done, I said, "Listen, I'm just gonna move my stop. I'm gonna see how low it can go." So I ended up trailing my stop. I got stopped out towards the low. So yeah, so that trade helped make my money back. But that was just so psychologically draining, mentally draining to me. Did not feel good, but I am glad that I held on. So, won two, lost one. Now we get into today. So on the day, and I know it looks like a lot of stuff, so let me get rid of some things. I actually ended up taking three positions. So today what I saw was that when I first got on, I saw how the market moved at like 8:30 and then 9 and then 9:30 on the open. So around like 9:40, right before I got on with the Discord members, I said, you know what? Let me see how the market is going to move. Because we made this new high, I really think that price could push up to 52.24s. But I really want to see how the market's going to respond at the high. So I put a zone here to say, hey, if I get a profit, I think I'm going to hold the trade going up. So I ended up taking a market order, which means I manually entered the trade. And I wanted to trade it going back up to the zone, but I ended up getting out a little bit earlier for about 6 points. I'll take that quick, $300. I'm fine with that. So I got out within 2 minutes of the trade. Members started to get on, and I made the statement that, hey, we have this inside bar, and price could push up that inside bar, continue up in this area, and it did. Hence why I have the line here, and we're gonna keep talking about that. But then what we noticed is that price started to make inside bars, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar here, inside bar here. So I made this statement: one of two things can happen. Here's what can happen. The market can just keep pushing off of the inside bars and get a momentum just like it did on Wednesday. We've had 2 high momentum days this week. Okay, fine. When there's momentum, sometimes we try to play against the momentum. I know I definitely did on Wednesday. But I made the statement. I said, hey, but if price passes one of the inside bars to the opposite side, now what you have to look at is this a high? Is this a low? Is this a high? And, are you going to play the trend continuation move? So that was what we talked about. I said, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a buy above 52.19. And I'm going to see if we're going to go back up towards the highs. So we ended up getting filled. And the market was moving in our favor. I zoned out the high though because on the 5-minute time frame, it created an inverted hammer. I said, listen, what we really need to see and pay attention to is the market going to respect the 5-minute inverted hammer, the bearish hammer, which signals that price could go down, or is it going to push higher? So when this bullish candle closed, it started to go down a little bit. I actually got out for $237. So I'm just going to go ahead and get out. Glad I did, because after that, the market started to tank. Now what we have here, what we had was a new low. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Price just made a new low. We can potentially sell. We can even target the 5-minute higher low. But really, I'm just going to go back down to the low here, okay? So here's what ended up happening. This is how I got my loss. So I always forget to put my trade a tick above or below my entry, all right? I had my pending order, fine. Market pushes heavy. I get stopped out by literally 1 tick, 25 cents. If I put my trade a tick higher, as I should, but I forget, I get excited when I'm putting in my order. But price stopped me out, went my way. More stacking opportunities in here, and I was looking at it and I was telling them, hey, price could come here and stack, price could go here, and it did, but I didn't jump back in. I was fine with my 2 wins and my 1 loss. Could have been a bigger day, way bigger day. Could have been $1,000 day, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? But happy the trades went my way today because Wednesday and Monday just were just mentally draining. So yeah, this is how it went the past 3 days of trading. And I pray y'all had a profitable day. And if you ever think that just because you don't have a good week, that next week won't be better. One thing I love is that when we are in our chats, I love for people to ask questions. So when new people come in and they ask questions, I'm there to answer them. After I'm in the trade, or we're the trade is running or we're out, I ask, hey, who needs to see it? Do I need to go over it? What don't you understand? What do you need help understanding? And I go over it right then and there, because with me testing out this market, still using my same system from the currency market, it's just testing to see what I like at this moment in real time. And in front of people, even on my side, it does affect my performance, because there are people who are going to jump in the trades with you, which it's okay. I'm fine with, everybody take the trade at your own risk. But it's a learning curve, not only for me, but for other people with how this market works, how the system works in real time, how it looks to lose money and then do opposite of what you were just doing, how to maneuver as quickly as possible. So I am glad to take this new approach with what I'm doing it this way in real time, so everyone sees it, learns, gets help at the same time, asks questions, and just learn from the questions that other people are asking. But yeah, y'all, I pray y'all have a good weekend. I'll see y'all next week.